The Gorgons, among the most feared creatures of Greek mythology, were the embodiment of terror and doom. These dreadful female monsters, with their serpent tails and snake-like skin, were not mere beasts, but harbingers of death. To encounter a Gorgon was to face an inescapable fate, for their gaze held a power. Unlike any other, a single look into their eyes would turn even the bravest soul into cold, unyielding stone. Legends whispered of their mastery with the bow and arrow, their skill unmatched by mortal hands. Yet, it was not their weapons that made them truly dangerous. The real peril lay in their faces, cursed with a beauty so twisted and deadly that no one could survive their gaze. Their presence alone was enough to send shivers down the spines of even the most seasoned warriors. The mere thought of these creatures struck fear into the hearts of all who heard their tale. They were not just monsters. They were a living death sentence, a force of nature that no mortal could hope to overcome. The Gorgons were a reminder of the fragility of life and the terrifying power of the unknown, their legend echoing through the ages as a symbol of ultimate dread. Medusa, the most infamous of the Gorgons, was not alone in her cursed existence. She had two sisters, Euryale and Stheno, who shared her monstrous fate. Together, they were the daughters of the ancient sea deities Perseus and Stheno, born into a world where beauty and terror intertwined. Unlike Medusa, who was mortal, her sisters were immortal, their power and ferocity unmatched by any creature of the mortal realm. The Gorgons were not mere monsters. They were skilled hunters, wielding bows and arrows with deadly precision. Yet, their true weapon was far more sinister. Their gaze, cursed and unrelenting, could turn any living being into lifeless stone. No shield, no sword, no prayer could protect those who dared to meet their eyes. Though Medusa's name became synonymous with the Gorgons, her sisters were no less fearsome. Euryale's piercing cries echoed like a storm, while Stheno's strength was said to rival the gods themselves. Together, the three sisters were a force of nature, bound by their shared curse and their unyielding hatred for the world that feared them. They were not just creatures of myth, but symbols of vengeance, their legend a chilling reminder of the price of defying the divine. The origins of the Gorgons are shrouded in mystery, their tale woven with beauty, betrayal, and divine wrath. In one version of the myth, the three sisters Medusa, Euryale, and Stheno were born as creatures of extraordinary beauty, their radiance so divine that they rivaled the goddess Athena herself. Yet, their hearts were dark, their souls corrupted by evil. Their resemblance to Athena tarnished the goddess's reputation, and in her fury, she cursed them. Their beauty was stripped away, replaced by hideous deformities. Their hair became writhing serpents, their skin turned to scales, and their gaze became a weapon of death. In another version, Medusa's fate was even more tragic. She was a mortal priestess of Athena, her beauty unmatched and her devotion unwavering. But her life took a dark turn when Poseidon, the god of the sea, was captivated by her. In a moment of passion, he desecrated Athena's temple, and the goddess, enraged by the sacrilege, turned her wrath upon Medusa. The once beautiful priestess was transformed into a monstrous Gorgon, her beauty twisted into a curse. Whether born of divine punishment or mortal tragedy, the Gorgons became symbols of fear and vengeance, their origins a testament to the gods' merciless power. Medusa's downfall was as tragic as it was inevitable. Her monstrous form, cursed by the gods, became a beacon for brave warriors seeking glory. One by one they came, armed with swords and shields, their hearts filled with courage. Yet, none could withstand her deadly gaze. The moment their eyes met hers, they were frozen in time, their bodies turned to cold, unyielding stone. Her lair became a graveyard of statues, a silent testament to her power and the hubris of men. But Medusa's reign of terror would not last forever. Perseus, a hero favored by the gods, was chosen to end her. Armed with divine gifts, a mirrored shield from Athena, a sword from Hermes, and winged sandals, he ventured into her lair. The air was thick with dread, the silence broken only by the hiss of serpents. Perseus, guided by the reflection in his shield, approached the sleeping Gorgon. With one swift, precise strike, he severed her head, ending her cursed existence. Even in death, Medusa's power endured. Her severed head, still capable of turning men to stone, was gifted to Athena, who placed it upon her aegis. Medusa's legacy lived on, a symbol of both fear and divine justice. Even in death, the Gorgon's power refused to fade. Medusa's severed head, a relic of unimaginable terror, became a symbol of protection and divine might. In ancient Greece and Rome, her image was carved into the facades of temples and palaces, a guardian against evil forces. The sight of her petrifying gaze, frozen in stone, was enough to ward off enemies and shield sacred spaces from harm. Her legacy extended beyond architecture. Warriors carried her likeness into battle, etched onto their armor as a talisman of invincibility. Even Alexander the Great, one of history's most legendary conquerors, bore Medusa's image upon his chest, a reminder of the power that lay in fear itself. The Gorgon's head, once a curse, had become a weapon of protection, a paradox of beauty and horror. But Medusa's story did not end with her death. Her legend endured, whispered through the ages, a tale of tragedy, vengeance, and divine wrath. She was more than a monster. She was a symbol of the gods' unrelenting power and the fragility of mortal defiance. Even today, her image lingers in art and culture, a haunting reminder of the fine line between beauty and terror, life and stone.